Hi, I'm Olivia from Wilkinson Cameras, and today I'm talking about a very exciting lens, the new Sigma 50mm F1.2 DG DN art lens. It's exciting because it's very small and lightweight, but it's also very affordable as far as 50mm F1.2 lenses are concerned. Both Ella and I took it out for a spin yesterday in Liverpool, and I really liked the results it gave us. But before we get started, please like and comment on this video and subscribe to our channel for more camera and lens reviews. The Sigma DG DN 50mm F1.2 art lens is a similar size and weight to the Sony 50mm F1.2 G master lens and shares the same 40cm close focusing distance. The Sony G master 50mm F1.2 is currently £2,099, whereas the Sigma is launching at £1,299. This is a massive price difference, and it also comes in less expensive than the Sony 50mm F1.4 G master, so price-wise, this is extremely impressive. Sadly, I don't have the Sony 50mm F1.2 G master with me to compare this to. I didn't have time to arrange one for this shoot, but seeing as it's closer price to the Sony 50mm F1.4 G master lens, I brought this along to do some comparison shots. So this lens will be available in L-mount and Sony E-mount options for now anyway, and it's going to be a great lens for both professional photographers as well as hobbyists. I can see this being particularly appealing to wedding photographers, but with it coming in substantially less expensive than both the Sony 50mm G master options, it's really opening up this wide aperture classic 50mm focal lens to a huge audience. It's a must-have for low-light shooters as well. First impressions are that the depth of field is super creamy and smooth, it's sharp, and it's a nice lens to use thanks to it being relatively compact and lightweight. Speaking of which, Sigma have managed to make this new 50mm F1.2 the same size as their DG DN 50mm F1.4 lens. And with that, let's delve into its technical specifications. So at the wider f1.2 aperture of this lens, it enables impressive light gathering capabilities which are particularly beneficial for wedding and event photography, and obviously it also opens up maximum depth of field, which is really nice for portraits. Wedding photographers and videographers would benefit from an f1.2 aperture, especially in low light environments like churches and big halls. So Ella and I went to one of Liverpool's cathedrals to test the low light capabilities, and wow, I was impressed. The f1.2 does make a huge difference. You can see in these examples that the extra step of light makes all the difference. This is an art series lens, which means the focus is on providing exceptional image quality. With a 13 blade rounded diaphragm, a first for Sigma, and a meticulously crafted optics to minimize both spherical and chromatic aberrations, I found that it consistently produced images which are sharp and complemented by a smooth, pleasing bokeh effect. The bokeh maintained a circular shape and complemented Ella's portraits in these shots. During the photo shoot, I could see that the images were sharp on the LCD screen, but having reviewed them on a monitor, I can see how sharp it is on Ella's eyes. One thing to note is that the highlights can be quite blown out at the wider end of the aperture. We also experienced this on our Sigma DG DN 50mm F1.4 versus Sony 50mm F1.4 G master video a while back. You can overcome this easily enough and correct it in post if needs be, but it's definitely something to be aware of. It produces very sharp images corner to corner with really nice contrast and colour. It does render images and colours slightly differently to the Sony 50mm F1.4 G master. We also found this when comparing the DG DN 50mm F1.4 to the F1.4 G master lens as well. That's not a bad thing at all, just an observation. When it comes to sharpness, I found that the images the Sigma produces are sharp corner to corner and overall are extremely pleasing. I've compared the images shot on the Sony 50mm F1.4 G master, and in all honesty, they are sharper. The image quality is better, but it is a G master lens, and I would expect that. Honestly, if I'd not been able to pixel peep and compare the two side by side, I wouldn't have been concerned. The Sigma is sharp, it's just that the Sony is sharper. I'm not at all worried about the image quality. The Sigma lens has produced lovely images, and you've got to remember that the Sony 50mm F1.4 G Master is £200 more than the Sigma 50mm F1.2, and the Sony 50mm F1.2 G Master is a massive £800 more. So yeah, image quality wise, it's absolutely spot on for the price, alongside the compact size, weight and f1.2 aperture. Build wise, this weighs just 740 grams in Sony E-mount and is relatively compact. As I mentioned earlier, it's almost identical to the DG DN 50mm f1.4 art lens. So if you have this already, you'll know if you're happy with the size and whether you want to upgrade to a faster aperture. If you've got the older version, the DG 50mm f1.4 art, then it's actually smaller than this one. I carried it around all day, and whilst it's not the lightest lens, it certainly wasn't a pain to carry. So on the lens, you have an aperture ring. You've also got an iris lock switch, so that takes you into auto aperture. On the other side, you've got an AF/MF switch, you've got an AF/L button, and then a aperture declick switch. Moving on to autofocus, the Sigma 50mm F1.2 DG DN art lens features dual linear motors, which means fast and quiet AF for both stills and video. It was both fast and accurate. I'm used to shooting with the 2470 f2.8 G Master Mark II lens, and the Sigma seemed to perform just as well as this. I was actually kind of surprised by this. I guess I expected it to be a bit slower than my top of the range Sony lens, but it just worked really, really well. As always, we've tested this. The AF is glued to the eye, and you can see that it's highly responsive to movement. This was used in the Sony A7 III. The lens also performed incredibly well in video. Again, the autofocus was extremely responsive and produces a gorgeous creamy bokeh for nice cinematic look. Of course, one of the benefits of buying a genuine Sony lens is that they support in-camera focus breathing reduction. But Sigma have tackled this by minimising it within the build of the lens, and it certainly seems to be very effective. So no major objections from me in this department. So Sigma have improved the focus breathing in this lens, so I'm going to put it to the test. I've got Ella in front of the building, so I'm just going to shift focus between the two, and hopefully the focus breathing is actually quite good. So from the back of the LCD screen, the focus breathing is actually very good. I can't test it at f1.2 because silly me didn't bring an ND filter and it's crazy overexposed, but I tried it in the vicinity of f4 to 5.6 and it was very minimal. So focus breathing test, very, very good. It's also been designed to reduce flare and ghosting, ensuring clear and crisp images even in challenging backlit conditions like street or event photography. The Sigma 50mm f1.2 DG DN art lens is going to launch at $1,299. I've put a link below where you can check the current price or buy online if you're based in the UK. I love the images I've shot with it, and I think wedding photographers are going to love this lens. The price is quite remarkable really if you compare it to other 50mm f1.2 lenses, which are considerably more expensive. If you want a lens with super dreamy depth of field, low light performance and brilliant image quality, then you definitely need to consider this 50mm f1.2 art lens. It's a 50mm, it's a great all-round focal length. The possibilities are endless really. But if you shoot gigs, weddings, events, portraits, and you can't stretch to the Sony FE 50mm f1.2 G Master, then you're going to want to seriously consider this lens. So that's it for today's review. What do you think? Do you like the look of this lens? Is the wider aperture and the saving going to make you choose this over the Sony 50mm f1.4 G Master? Have you been considering the Sigma DG DN 50mm f1.4, but now this is calling your name? Or will the fact that Sigma UK plant a tree for every lens bought to help you make a decision? Let me know in the comment section, and please remember to like this video and subscribe to our growing channel. Thanks for watching.